Perfect. All right, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. This is the Law Podcast, episode 6. And I'm very excited to introduce to you all tonight our guest, Ghettonerdtrey. Ghettonerdtrey, will you please say hello to everybody for us for one moment?
What up, what up, what up? What's up, everybody? Like you say, I go by Ghettonerdtrey, formerly known as King Pyro. You may have known me for ruling the Fire Nation. I've been here and there in these Apex streets.
Know
You
what
know
I
how I do.
Wonderful. My name is Shiogorn. I am one of your co-hosts, always trying to bring the drip. And with me today, we got our wonderful producer, the man himself, the legend. Come at us.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Hey Teddy in the building. Burns.
Wonderful. Well, perfect. I think I'm already excited. Like anytime we come around to these podcasts, it starts getting me real amped up.
It
I
starts
think it's a
like
real good time to
it
like
starts
connect
hitting.
with to connect with all these people about what I've been doing my whole life, right? Gaming community type shit. In a way where it's not like some back alley corner or some back room chatting somewhere. This is like it feels good and I get to talk to people about the things I love to do. And it's very fun. So Ghetto Nerd Trey. We're gonna do it a couple of times.
You
Nerd
know,
Trey.
Shit,
you
it's a
know,
transition.
what's funny about that is that originally I was gonna go with Ghetto Nerd Pyro.
I mean that would have
Look
been a
at
nice
that. Look at
blend.
that. I think that starts us off exactly where I want us to be.
Yes.
Where did this name come from, right? Where does this name come from, Trey? And what do you prefer, for like shortened phrasing? What do you prefer people to call you by? And where did this name originate? Where did it start? What was the transition? Where did we begin? How did we get where we are now?
hmm
All right, so first, let me start off by saying Ghetto Nerd is a brand ran by my big brother Ghetto Nerd. Hey, shout out to them nerds. You know,
Hey, shout outs to the
yeah. So
nerds.
basically, we're this gaming brand that we basically, in a nutshell, do it for the youth. People that grew up in them trenches. I don't know how else to say that. That enjoy gaming, giving them a comfortable space for them to be themselves. You know, because we have this thing where people from the streets of street just have to act a certain way. They can't be like emotional or nice or
Yes,
game
sir.
and all this other stuff. And we're just like, who said God didn't say that?
Who put
Like,
these rules? Who
oh,
made these rules?
who made that up? Like, so that's where the ghetto nerd came from. Trey, that's been my nickname since I was a child. So um I'm actually the third. So my grandfather is Irvin Senior. My
Okay.
father is Irvin Jr. and I'm Irvin the third. So what my dad did
Oh, I
is,
see.
since I'm the third,
Trey.
three in Spanish is Trace. Drop the
All
S off,
right.
and now you got Trey. So
Bet. That's dope. I
Okay.
like that.
That's where the
I
trade come from. Makes sense, cause I was so confused. I'm like Ghetto Nerd Trey. I'm
Where
sitting there
did
like, yo,
Trey
bro,
come from?
who's Trey? I never met Trey before.
yeah,
Now we
It
so
makes
know.
sense
Now
now. That's
we
the
know,
full
yeah.
circle.
That's amazing.
So
All
because you're a
right.
third and the trade, like you said, tres or tres in Spanish, you drop the S and you come up with a trade
Mm-hmm.
like that.
yeah, and my
Okay.
grandfather's nickname is actually Ace, and my father's is Deuce. It was Ace Deuce
Oh
Trey.
shit! Oh, that's fire.
Yeah,
That's
So it
fire.
was already a thing, and then
yeah.
it just really like settled in. That's dope. I like it. I
Yeah,
like
I
it.
like
That's a
that
good
a
one.
lot.
That can be real fun. That can be real fun. Well,
That's dope.
great. So what what about where we came from? So that's the ghetto nerd trait, but from before. Where did we get that and kind of why did we switch out from kind of what you came from to where you are now?
You mean where Pyro came from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh
Tell us about
man.
it, boy. Tell us about it.
Whoa.
we want to know
Tell us
about
about
all
that Fire
this.
Nations. You're talking about coming up in the streets. The Fire Nations sound like the most intense kind of place you can come up in.
So let's just start from the very beginning when I first started gaming. When I
Mhm.
first started gaming, my first actual game attack was blazing.
All
So
right.
I was already on the fire side.
Yeah.
So I was going as Blazing, and then we was playing Gears of War at the time. I was playing Gears of War competitively, and we was in a match, and you, my friend, he was just like, after the round ended, he was like, "Hey, yo, you really turned your pyro mode on, didn't you?"
Oh, it was
And
over.
I was just like, I was like, "Oh." I like that. And then I kind of took that and just ran with it,
Sure.
Ended up King Pyro, and then, King of the Fire.
I like it.
Mhm.
I like it. There's a little bit of a like extra subcontext to that too, right? So Pyro is like somebody who likes to play with fire. So there's that you're not just the fire. You can play with it and you enjoy playing with that fire. So I think
Yeah.
that's a nice little work in right there with King Pyro. And now with the Fire Nation, it comes together. So Blazing, Pyro, Fire Nation, great origins. Now we're on the Ghettonerdtrey, and that kind of ties into like your new brand and stuff you got going on, right? So I saw this Instagram we've got. Can we talk about that a little bit? I'm curious. I'm
Sure,
curious about
sure,
that thing.
sure. We could definitely talk about that.
Yeah, I would love to. So for everybody who can't get visuals, we've got a couple of Instagram brands here that we've got Trey with. One is the GFX by Nerds, and then the other one is what is this one here? This is
Whole lot of nerd. So a whole lot of
whole
nerd
lot of
shit
nerd shit. There it
is the
is.
is
Let's
the
go.
Ghetto Nerd team page, pretty
There
much.
you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
That's the Ghetto Nerd team page.
So the
All
whole
right.
lot of
So
nerd
what
shit.
is that? Yeah, what's that for? What kind of
Mm.
what's the reason for this, and what do y'all use that for?
Content, just like content, funny moments. If we have conversations in the club, we record it, we put that on there.
Dope.
Just genuine content from people, uh, that people can just relate to. They can come on, get a good laugh, or hear a deep conversation, or see some fire gameplay.
Sure. So
Most
a nice
definitely.
kind of variety of just community input right there. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that quite a bit. That's very nice.
Just
Well,
like a
that's
nice hub.
wonderful. Hell yeah. You've got quite a few socials, and it looks like you go through some stages of being pretty darn active. You definitely go through some stages of being pretty darn active. And I can tell you're like throwing shit up there regularly. And in fact, when I go to your Twitch page, right, the very first thing I see is your introduction video where you're telling me about who you are, what you do. You show you some clips, and you are following that like recipe to a T. It is great, honestly. It is great. You're letting us know exactly what we need to know. It's like at that 60-second mark, exactly as it should be. Like it's the whole kind of thing. So to me, what that comes across as is you're somebody who like you find what works and you're like, I'm gonna apply this thing. I'm gonna
Yeah.
use this now. I'm gonna be that pyro right here. I'm gonna set this on fire now because it's in my hands. Like I see this iterated a lot. What has drawn you to making content like this, right? So gamers, a lot of times we have them on here and they've got long-term childhood gaming stories, but where was your transition between, being a childhood gamer and considering content creating and then actually beginning that journey of it?
Uh, for me, so there was two things that I did throughout my childhood growing up. Is the first thing was gaming, obviously. You know, just gaming throughout my childhood. I think I started gaming with I don't know if y'all remember the old Nintendo with the trackpad that you run on the trackpad on the
Oh,
old
heck
Nintendo.
That's throwback
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been gaming since 5 years old.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
And then back then they had the TVs with the big back on it. So I used to play it. I played my father's TV in the basement so much that I don't know if you ever had you, but like the TV, the screen would blow, and like in the middle you see like a little color palette in the middle. It showed that your TV blowed out. I literally played it until the TV screen
Like the
just blew.
bulb burned out,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
That's how you know you ready deep in though, bro. That's the grind right there. That's
Yo,
it. It
yo,
started.
looks like you found a new WoW member up here, son.
That's
This
what I'm
guy knows how
saying.
to grind.
Bro, a lot of these games that I've been playing is real grindy games, man. So you gotta have
Is it?
those. You gotta have that commitment. I remember that
And back
shit.
then, it was that Super Mario 64,
Ooh,
but it stuck
yep.
to the TV screen.
Trying to get through all that, find all the secrets for that one.
Yep.
Those are some of those fun tech struggles that I feel like everybody
Mhm.
still experiences, but there are a fun bunch that just will never be experienced by anybody ever again. Like, a TV being blown out, or even just
Red
when
rings.
LCDs first like came out and you couldn't have a pause screen for too long, or it would like
Yeah.
have an imprint of that
Yeah.
on your TV. What
Yep.
was that trash? Things of this nature. Those are
Bro.
fun little quirks, yeah. The
You're
fun
like, I
little
swear I unpaused it.
Bro.
Don't let it sit for 10 minutes, y'all. It's gonna freeze up. That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, so you start gaming as young as 5 years old, playing some Nintendo, some Super Mario. When did that gaming and that love for it and that early on grind, like you obviously showed a love for this very early, but when did that love transition into kind of stepping
So
out of just gaming in the basement, blowing out TVs, you know?
and then on the other end was I was also like, I drew a lot. I
Yeah.
did like different types of art. And then when I
Oh,
went to college, graphic design was actually my minor. So now it's this thing where how do I bring two of my favorite things together in the world?
Mhm.
And if you look at content creation, it's pretty much content is the games that we play, and the creation is the art and how we
sure,
create it, bringing the two worlds together.
Mhm.
sure. 100%.
That's
I
like
love
making
that.
your thumbnails and all that, doing a little
Hmm.
editing, trying to figure out titles and little hashtags to draw in audiences. Like all of that stuff is part
Mhm.
of the process. That's all art. That's all the talent. Like even if you're learning how to do that and you think it's so minuscule or minute level that you're trying to do it at, like it's still a talent. Like that's people do this shit as like a job.
Yeah,
100%. 100%. Yo,
yeah.
graphic design is a very important skill, and it's you like that is if anybody's trying to go to school for anything, like I mean, I'm not gonna say that you get paid a lot, but you can always find work with
Always,
graphic design. Everybody needs some
especially the way with
graphics
the
done.
internet and content creation world is heading.
Yep. And worst case scenario, even if you aren't getting paid by anybody else to do it, being able to make all your own shit the way that you're talking about is such an incredible asset that
Yes.
comes into things like immediately. Like I said, when I go onto your page, I have gone on a lot of people's pages, especially recently. And I can tell you right now, not many people have an intro video. Not many people are following a formula for the
I
intro
don't have
video
an
that
intro
works.
video, bro. Like,
Exactly, right? And this is something I was just like considering. All right, I gotta make my intro video. How am I gonna do it? How do I like? I've been thinking about this for a couple of days. So the fact that you come up on my radar already having it very first thing shows me that you are coming from that graphic design background. You are already coming from that creator mindset. You're approaching a new media, but it's like same old shit. So I kind of like that. The graphic design minor, that is wonderful. Of course, that makes perfect sense. So is this then tying into the brand that you have, right? Is this your branding? Is this your stuff that you're putting out there?
So on Ghetto Nerds, we also have two amazing, wonderful graphic designers that I work with. Shout out to Lady Nerd and Lady Glow. You know,
Lady
Oh,
Nuri, you said?
Lady Nerd, and Lady
Lady
Glow.
Nerd and Lady
Lady
Glow.
Nerd and Lady Glow.
I love
Shout out
them.
to you
Yes.
both.
Shout outs,
Amazing.
huge shout
Now,
outs.
now, how can we find them? What's the best place for somebody to check these two people out?
Uh,
On Instagram?
so both of them are on Instagram. If you actually go to the Graphics by Nerds, their pages are in the bio.
Perfect. Y'all heard it right here. That's exactly where you can go to find any of those wonderful artists.
It's this
Part
link right here.
of community. Love to hear it. Love to fucking hear it. Amazing. All right. Let's move on right here. Yeah.
That's the Taylor Chucks one. Perfect.
Yep, Taylor Chucks, and then the other one should be Lady Nerd.
Perfect. Got those down. All right, now with your other socials, right? So with your aside from the Instagram, with your TikTok and your Twitch and your Twitter, how do you tend to use these? How do you tend to use these? What approach what approach do you like to take? I'm gonna just let you go right off of that little bit because you already look like you have some things to say. So let's get into it. I'll interject as necessary. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Also, TikTok I kind of use for like those short in game moments, those short in game clips, not too long, not too
Mhm.
short. It's kind of like, oh, this happened today. Let me post this on TikTok. Versus Instagram would it be like 3, 4 videos looped together. Like this is my day playing
Sure.
Apex. Versus TikTok is like this is what happened on Apex today. Not necessarily the whole day. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
Twitter. Um, I need to post more on Twitter. Usually, Twitter is what I use to keep up to date with my friends and what
sure.
they got going on, content creation, streaming. That's how I keep up with people on Twitter.
Mhm.
Twitter's powerful,
That
man.
seems pretty good to me. That
So
seems pretty good to
the
me.
TikTok stuff, right? Like, or just in general, the clips that you posting up, are they just like highlight type clips, or are they like some funny shit happening? Is it a variety of stuff? Like, what type of content
Uh,
would you expect to be posted?
Usually when I do TikTok clips, it's like something crazy that happened or something funny that happened. Like that something that may have happened to me in game that you just couldn't help but laugh at. You can't even get mad at it because it was just like, wow.
Yeah, I noticed there was definitely when I was sifting through some of these, there were quite a few, like just short little 10 to 15-second clips of fun wins, a little variety games here and there, whether it be oh, what is it? It looked like you were knocking somebody off some lily pads, grabbing their little booty as an ice cream cone or something of that nature. I don't know, some kind of little
so
dessert treat.
So I was about to use that example. So one of the ones I put on TikTok for Fall Guys, it was one of
Yeah,
those
that's what it
maps,
was.
and he was just standing there, and we were the last two alive. So I was just stand and wait. So I jumped onto his square and I grabbed him and I pushed him off the map.
Bit by bit, inch by inch, baby. It was great. It was great. So yeah, I've seen a lot of these cute little fun little clips that you're posting, and it's very nice. Now, those to me, when I'm watching them, it feels like really nice YouTube short contents, right? Because I see you're also posting some clips on YouTube, and with them, it seems like we're getting kind of hits around the time when you're streaming, as you're saying. So you're clipping like, all right, here's my day, here's a game, whatever you're taking from stuff that you're already making, which is great. The one thing that I get lost on is all right. So we got funny clips. I want to see your face more. I want to see your face. I know you got your cam on sometimes, right? Because I can see your cam on sometimes. But a lot of these clips, I'm missing your face. I'm missing your reactions. I'm missing your smiles. I'm missing all these things. So if
Right.
there's one thing to take away that I, as somebody coming to you fresh and a viewer, I really want to see your face, especially in relation to your content. So just a little, if you're comfortable showing it, I feel like you should.
Oh, oh, of course, of course, of course. So I don't know. PS5 has this funny thing is because when I stream from my PS5, I just got the camera for the PS5, so I have it
Sure.
on, right? But for some reason, when I clip on the
It doesn't
PS5,
it doesn't
it
do it.
still only captures the game and
That's
not the
trash.
camera.
You probably need a no, capture card won't do that. That's for the game itself. That's for the game itself. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to address that, unfortunately. That's unfortunate. I want to see more face, dang it. I want to see more tray
This
face,
this
yeah.
is off the PlayStation.
Uh-huh.
PS5.
PS5.
Yeah, the PS5 like they got some weird stuff with the cameras now. You can't use like USB cameras or something. They got like the
Yeah.
Oh, that
specific
seems
camera.
silly. Yeah, that seems like y'all are messing up. PS5, step your game up. What you're doing? Streamers
I
out
thought
here
you
trying
was
to
an
show their face and
Xbox. What
showcase your
happened?
games.
You breaking my heart. I heard the Gears shit. I mean, we can't play Gears on the station now.
Man,
Yeah,
I still
that's
got my Xbox, man. It's nothing but a thing.
Well, this is bringing up another thing
Breaks
between
my heart.
Xbox, PlayStation. Like now, I know you're mainly an Apex player. Is that right?
hmm
Now, for those people who listening who might not be very familiar with this stuff, because we do have people tuning in who aren't gamers at all, give us a little bit of a description. We know it's a shooter. We know it's a battle royale. For who don't know what a battle royale is, it's basically a multiplayer game. About 100 players, oftentimes, sometimes less, sometimes more, and everybody fights each other to the death until the last person standing. And one key factor is you've got a death zone created on you from every side or something like that, pushing
hmm
the game forward, right?
It's getting smaller and
So
smaller, shrinking the map.
smaller and smaller. So with that kind of dynamic, I find that so interesting. It's such like a self-creating high tension type of gameplay, much more so than a
Mm-hmm.
static map. A static map that doesn't change or have any uh uh altering features isn't going to push you itself. It's only the players who are going to push you. But in this kind of way, you have the players and the environment pushing you into these high tension moments. I think that that's great for content itself, but it's also, I feel like it's people pretty hype. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, are these reasons that drew you to Apex? Is it the popularity? Why do you play this game so much? Why has it kind of been your thing?
So I remember when I made the switch. So, like I said, I was playing Gears. We was playing Gears 5 at the time, and one of my teammates started playing Apex. He was like, "Hey, try this game out." So this is the first. Everyone knows Gears is a third-person game. So switching to first person and it's battle royale. So it's like two new things at once. So I played it a few games, and I was like, "Oh, this game is trash. I want this game." Going back to Gears, but then as I kept playing and I kept playing, then it was like, okay, I'm starting to like this game, and it like, um, it's a good game. It's really a skill gap. It's really a skill curve with that game. You really have to be technical with it. Like, and no offense to my COD players out there, but you can't just sit in a corner or sit on your stomach and wait for somebody to run past you and shoot them.
It's a lot of
They
movement in
got
that game. A lot of movement.
they got people like this character called Bloodhound that will scan your ass if you hide in the corner and he gonna come get you.
Mm-hmm. Those
So
abilities
now,
that scan, that's like an ability or something, right?
Yep.
So all these
now, why
Each,
weren't
ways.
you
each
messing with it at first? When you first, why were you going to this game's trash? Like what? What was causing that?
it
I'm
was just
curious.
it was just different, and I'm competitive, so I don't like to lose. So I was getting,
You
I
start
was
So
getting
you
getting,
felt like
clapped.
the game was trash because you was
yeah,
playing like trash. So is that what
pretty
I'm
much,
hearing?
pretty much.
Man, we've been there. We've been there. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. That's great. Now, was this the first battle royale you had played? Was switching
Yes.
over to these? Okay, so what was that like? I've never really fucked with these games. Of course, I'm familiar with them.
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite's everywhere. Apex is huge. There's a bunch of them that are big, and I just started fucking with that Dark and Darker game, which is kind
Mm-hmm.
of like a battle royale of a sort. So I've never really played with these games. What- tell us a little bit more about that, like uh swap over to that style of game. Why has it kind of locked you in? Because again, just a minute ago, I feel like I was detecting a little it's a good game. uh it seems pretty good, but there seemed a hint
I
of
mean
a
that
butt in there.
bullshit.
Yeah, and like I'm real familiar with that, y'all coming from a league
Yeah, I'm about to say
background.
we play League of Legends, bro. A lot
So
of
I would also
bullshit.
like to know where was that? Like what's the question mark on that good game?
Uh, I mean, the culture right now in Apex, I I'm not too big of a fan. It's like the really great players. They do this thing where they make Smurf accounts,
Uh-huh. Now
and
explain that. What's a Smurf?
Uh, a little
Smurf
blue
account is
guy.
pretty much making a burner account so you can in the lower lobbies and just pretty much just wipe the floor with them because they don't have.
Yeah, that's what it is. So it's people who are good, but they like reach that. There's usually two reasons, maybe three. Reason one, you're too good and the queue time takes too damn long. There's not enough people as good as you. So like you gotta sit forever to wait for games. Make a low level account, you play games again. Great solution. Reason two, you jump in and you slaughter everybody who's just not nearly as good as the game as you are. Or three, you want to play with friends who don't play as much and they can't get in the same lobbies as you. So it's like, all right, well, I guess I gotta make a shit account. But Smurfs are in every
Been
competitive game
smurfing
that
for a
I
long
know
time.
of. And we call them that because they little guys. Those are little guys,
Yeah,
little Smurf,
little blue
little Smurf
guys.
count. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, and I mean, it just feels like it's oversaturated with them, though. I
Hmm.
feel like each pro player has like 6 Smurf accounts that they use.
Yeah, sure. Sure. I mean, I feel the same exact thing coming from League, right? Seriously, like it
I got
seems
like
all
6
the time
accounts.
that you just get stuck in queues with people who are on their third, fourth, fifth, sixth Smurf account because either they got banned out of their main or they just don't care and they want to throw away account or they're playing around or whatever. It is odd to me because I'm coming from a place where I'm used to this from an old game, right? From a game that's like 10, 12, 13 years old. But Apex is what, only a couple years old now, right?
Mhm.
When did that game come out? Just what? Only a few years ago, max.
A few years ago, yep. Because it's
So
just
Oh,
already,
it's
only a few
Yeah.
literally
years old,
it
and
just hit
six,
the
7
4-year
accounts.
mark. It just hit the 4-year mark,
Jeez.
February 4th, 2019.
So what would be the
You know where
solution
it
to
came
this,
from,
right?
Lennon? This game came
What's
from
that?
fucking Titanfall. This is Titanfall's
Oh,
spinoff.
bet. That makes sense.
That's
Yo,
right.
Titanfall
That's
looked
why, like,
huge.
you know, they
Titanfall, all
and
right,
the
that makes
running and all
sense.
that, and the movement, and the
Gotcha.
abilities, the guns. You literally, some of them are like replicas, or like they just
Was
change
it?
little tweak or
Is it
something.
your brother who fucks with Titanfall? Who is it? I know somebody is good at
My
Titanfall.
son is crazy.
That's why I meant
with
your son. Your son,
Titanfall.
yeah. He messes up at
Like,
Titanfall. I like
yeah,
that.
anybody listening, yeah, I ain't got a chance. I promise.
Titanfall is the game.
Well, that makes sense. Okay, cool. I was curious. So the development of Titanfall kind of fell off a little bit in preference for this Apex, then it sounds
Yeah,
like,
they
which makes
definitely
sense.
scrapped or like moved on so they could focus
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Apex.
yeah.
That's the
Well, it
only.
sounds like they landed in the spot, though. Sounds like they
Mhm.
landed in a good spot with Apex. What
Sounds
else?
like if it ever like dies out too, they could just Titanfall 3, like yo.
Easy game, easy life. So I'm curious, like, what? Now, the community you don't like, and largely it sounds like because there's a bunch of Smurfs, and the Smurfs are just like whatever. Now, are people playing crappy on these accounts? Are they just being mean? Like, what's the fallout of all these Smurfs in the Apex community? What ends up happening because of all these people just flooding the servers with like burner accounts?
I mean, honestly, I don't really care because I'm used to that level. But
Mhm.
it's just like when you have random teammates that like aren't like. So say if I take a break and I come back and I'm like silver 3, and they
Mhm.
be real silver level players. If there's a team of Smurfs in that silver, they're gonna destroy my teammates,
Yeah, sure,
and it's
sure,
gonna
sure,
be
sure.
1v,
Mhm.
and then
So,
I'm I'm gonna lose
So
points unnecessarily. So it's not
solo
necessarily with
ahead of.
me because I mean I lose too, but I'm not
Mhm.
scared of the competition because I've been
sure.
at that level before. So
So with now 2 points of context. What's the scale like, the ranking scale like in Apex? So you mentioned silver. Silver usually means low level, right?
Mhm.
Silver's
Just a
usually
little
like
bit off the ground.
third
near the
tier.
bottom, maybe not the bottom, but it's
Mhm.
usually real near the bottom. What comes after silver, and what does it end up going up to? So to give us context,
So
like,
so it starts at now. It starts at rookie,
Oh
then
shit!
bronze, then
Wow.
silver, then gold, then platinum, diamond, masters, pred.
heard. So pretty standard. This seems like that 5 to 6 title range is
Yeah.
relatively standard
Yeah.
overall. Okay. So now bringing it back to anybody who doesn't understand what I was talking about when it comes to the silver lobby thing. So if he's not playing for a minute and he goes away, doesn't play this game for a month, comes back, his ranking has decayed down. He might have gone from a plat to a gold to a silver, what have you. He plays in a game of a lobby. He's going to be put up potentially with people who are the same rank as him, silvers, who actually are silver players. That's their skill cap. But
This is
because once
something.
upon a time Trey was up here, you can't even see. There might also be some people in that lobby who are in that silver game, ranked down low, but they're really up here. And they
Mhm.
might have a whole team of these people, or they get onto their Smurf accounts. So their Smurfs are in silver, but they're all like challenger diamond players gonna come and wipe the floor and stuff. So this is just I see. It comes down
This
to
is
like
totally
just
a similar thing.
inconsistency with games and hard to maintain expectations, right? It's hard to like actually maintain that consistency when
It-
you never fucking
There's,
know.
there's no way to control it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You can't control it.
Yeah, it's
Now,
hard.
I feel like there's been a lot of attempts to address this specific problem in League of Legends. Most of them have been pretty unsuccessful, but they've been a lot of attempts. Have they made any attempts in Apex to address these issues, or are they even like, are they really upfront about them? Tell us about that a little bit.
So ranked, I'm not really sure about ranked. I mean, they so they made it so like the point system now is that there's no cap. So obviously, if you're like a beast player and you get like 15 kills in one game, you're gonna get a lot of points and you're gonna rank up. You're gonna fly through the rank. So I mean, I guess
Sure.
that's one way of doing it. You know, the really good people, unless they just play like trash on purpose, they're gonna fly through the low ranks. So meaning they won't be there as long. Now, for pubs or public lobbies, not unranked, once you have one good game, they're gonna put you in the high lobby. Like as soon as you, if you get 10 kills in one game, you're now in the lobby with Masters and Preds now.
That's wild. Well, that seems like that's kind of interesting because that could open up the accessibility to people who have high skill, right? The one thing I've run into is I've heard a lot of players talk about, well, I just want to get an account or I want to get carried or boosted or whatever to high level so I can play against high level players and get better faster. This is a common thing. It's wild to me. So instead of instead of coming in and like to boost up real quick, get into that high level even when you're not, man, I wish people could just be happy playing ranked where they're at. I don't know. It gets real hard when everybody's trying to boost each other and boost themselves. Stay where you're
Yeah,
at.
All of that stuff
I
is
never,
just part of the
I
culture
never
and shit,
understood the
though.
boosting thing, paying all that money to have somebody else rank up for you.
Most of
It
the
doesn't
time, it
feel the
just be the
same.
homie. You know what I mean? Like it just like fuck it. I need you to get to this. Like let's say you know how what's the threshold for platinum? You got to be at least gold or something, right? So you're gonna
Sure.
have to boost your homie to gold to switch back to your other account to keep playing with him. Like
Right.
It's such a struggle, right?
it's just
Why,
part of
like,
the shit.
it
There's a lot
is
of
part
nasty
of
stuff.
it
You
is
know
so
what's some
hard.
nasty stuff? What's your argument with the whole mouse and keyboard?
Oh man, man. I think it's balanced. I think mouse and keyboard have tap strafe and they have like movement,
That strafe is
like,
crazy.
but then it's like counteracted because controllers have auto aim. So you can do all that movement and I'm still gonna be locked on you when you finish.
That's wild. So you have players who are developing completely different techniques based purely off of the systems they're playing on, not anything else at all. That's
Well, this is just PC.
that's
So
that gets
The
intense.
crossplay thing. I mean, people are still hooking up the keyboards and all that to the
yeah,
Xbox and still getting
So,
that advantage.
all right. Well, what do they play in the competitive scene?
keyboard and mouse.
Keyboard
Both,
and mouse.
actually both.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of mixed.
It's a
It's
little
kind of
both.
mixed. There's a good argument there.
Are they mixed in the same tournament, or are tournaments mixed? So, like, if you had one tournament, would you see some players playing with mouse and keyboard, and some play? I don't like that. I don't like that. That seems weird to me. That seems weird to me.
But see, but they so what they do
Use the
in
controller.
pro, leads to my knowledge, is they bring down the aim assist, like they bring it down to what keyboard and mouse is. So keyboard and mouse has aim assist too. It's just not as strong as controller is. So
Gotcha.
in pro, they level it all out. So
Then it sounds like strafe is the way to go. So mouse and keyboard would be the way to play.
That
Unless you
mechanic is solely on mouse and keyboard, right? Because you just tapping.
yeah.
can't do that with the controller at all. So
Unless you like left, right.
what
with
is the strafe? Why is that so important? Just because of the hyper movement in the game?
Yeah, it's a lot of movement. It also
Yeah,
jitters with the aim
it's
assist shit too. Like it makes you,
yeah,
it throws it off for you.
it's pretty, man. Look, a one-on-one would literally be a straight fight. Like we can straight fight.
Yeah, sure.
Welcome to Halo. Like in
Yeah,
a
pretty
strafe
much.
city.
Pretty much. That and
Yeah,
crouch
so
spam.
crouch. Yep.
Hmm.
Jump, crouch, strafe. Jump, crouch, strafe.
Again,
All of
just
the
trying to
above.
manipulate with the aim assist and like people zooming in and like that's just all the. You could learn the models too. Like I remember laying down in Call of Duty and then standing up really fast makes your character do like a quick animation that you still could dodge bullets with and shit. So like you would just spam that right there. Like
Are there any mechanics like that that you exploit there, Trey? Because I definitely like I'm an exploiter. If I understand that there's an exploit to
mhm,
a game, as far as I'm concerned, that is extra content that the dev just provided.
mhm,
Like, if they ain't gonna finish their game and patch it, then it's fair game. Then it's fair game. So that kind of shit, like messing with hitboxes or messing with like
mhm.
bullet drop or any, are there any mechanics like that that you do notice higher level skill players are just using regularly because it's just a tool that they have access to?
So I mean, Apex really does a good job of getting exploits before they like in the initial beginning. They like have exploits, but they really patch them up quick.
Yeah,
But
sure.
Apex is really just knowing the legend you're using, rotations, and advantages. It's literally the three things it's about. Like you could be the best player in the world, but if you're in a bad position, you're not gonna win that fight. You're gonna
Yeah,
get
sure.
destroyed.
So you mentioned legends, rotations, and what was the third thing?
Advantages. So if I
Advantages. All right. So get into each of those concepts. So the legends, how many legends do you have and how vital is it that you get to know each legend, etc.? Because like again, I'm gonna be keeping bringing in this League of Legends thing. League of Legends, there's like 150 champions. You got to know everything about every one of those champions, all their abilities, all of their counters, all of their strengths, all that stuff before you really have like a solid chance to encounter it or gaining the advantage in any of those encounters.
that's a lot
Yo,
of
what's
legends.
up, Ring Ring?
That's a lot of champions. I ain't gonna lie. But nah, I think it's about I want to say 25, somewhere around that number.
25 legends. And
Somewhere
how
around that
well do you
number.
need to be versed with each of them? Or can you kind of just grab one, put on blinders, and do well?
I think a good rule of thumb for me anyway is to know one legend as your master, like one you just know like the back of your hand. You can play this
One
legend,
trick. Yeah,
and then
sure.
you and then have two, maybe one or two other legends that you can play because aside from it just being a legend, you have to pick a legend that fits with your team. You know, so it has to be like a chemistry. If you have, you know, like because some legends don't mesh together. It's just not a
Sure.
good match.
Well,
So
sure, totally. Every team's gonna have synergies that they can excel in, or maybe even be detriment to them if they have like
They
counter
all have
synergies. That
like
kind of
little abilities and ultimates. So like
yeah,
some of them will be like which one was some good combos. You'll have like a
uh,
bloodhound and like a octane or something. So he could throw the octane could throw this little jump pad, get you the whole team over to wherever this team's hiding at, and then the bloodhound would like scan it all real quick. So
that's
you'll
dope.
find
That's
everybody.
dope.
So like
Now, when you're in,
you're literally getting rushed and everybody knows where the fuck you at. Like it's like once
that's
you start
you ain't
synergizing combos
escaping.
like that, like it gets
You
hectic.
can run, but you can't fucking hide.
Hmm.
I'm coming for you.
and then and then Bloodhound has his ultimate where if he goes into his ultimate mode called Blood of the Hunt, when you run, your tracks are turned red. So like when you're running
Heard.
away, you literally have footprints, so he can just
Sure.
chase you down.
Sure, that's dope. That's dope. So we got like 25-ish of these legends, and you can kind
Hmm.
of just grab a main, maybe have one or two others that you fall back on. But for the most part, uh, how does the actual selection screen go, right? So when you are getting into a game and you're picking your legend, how do you get to see who you're going against? Do you get to see who your allies are? Do you get any of that information pre-game, or are you actually going in blind?
And that just brings me to the next point. I'm having more than just one legend because how the character select goes. So when the character select screen goes up, your names are at the bottom. Now, you are not always the first one to pick.
Sure.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
so
that
you're not
bottom three
always
is
guaranteed.
randomized.
Yeah, you're not always guaranteed your main legend. So somebody could pick your main legend. Now you got to pick somebody else because you can't use the
Right.
same one.
Of
So
course.
that's
Hmm.
that's why I stress having more than just one that you can use, because especially if your main is a popular one or meta that season, you're not gonna be able to play unless you go first.
Yeah, good luck. That's always the thing, right? Play what's broken. Play what's broken until it's not, until they fix it. Play.
Or just group up, man. Grouping up is like the king to that shit, bro. I hate playing
Yeah,
Apex solo. I would never. I can't do it. I can't do it.
yeah.
Now,
If you
grouping up, you mean like with a team of players, or grouping up
Yeah,
like
like
yeah,
yeah,
just queuing up for rank. You can queue up for rank with a
yeah,
pre-made of 3. That is like
sure.
should be the only way
That's
you're
how it goes.
queuing up.
That's the way. That's the
Yeah.
secret sauce.
let me tell you something. Solo queue is, especially solo queuing rank, is the most stressful thing you'll ever do in your life.
Oh, I
I
bet.
did it a couple days and I was just like, never again, bro. Don't. I'm never gonna play unless my homies is really like, yo, we got the peoples for you. Pull up.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
Uh,
sense.
that shit
So
was crazy.
when you're selecting your stuff then, right? What goes into your thought process? Like, are you thinking, all right, I see this person is playing this. I'm gonna play this character because it goes well with them. Like, are you able to build those strategies out before the game starts? You're able to
Mhm.
kind of see some of that stuff beforehand.
If I go first, I'm just gonna grab my legend regardless.
Hell, yeah.
But
I
if
but
see.
I'm,
but
And then you gotta build
shit.
around that.
yeah, pretty much,
That's the other
pretty
way.
much.
Y'all can build around me. Fuck off. heard,
Facts.
heard. I like that. I like that. Yeah, I'm also quite familiar with that kind of
So
mentality. That's great.
what's your legend right now? Who you meaning?
Exactly. Exactly.
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
um, still, actually, it's a Vantage.
Vantage.
Advantage. Now, why do you like it?
Vantage.
Vantage. Why do you
Mm-hmm.
like Vantage?
She's like the world class. Like, she has so many perks with her sniper rifle. Well, like, first, her ultimate is the sniper rifle, so you
Mm-hmm.
basically have a third gun. You
Ooh.
have the two weapons that you have the
Ah,
two weapons that you can pick up,
this
and
the
her
new
sniper
chick,
is the
right?
third weapon.
Some one of these new chicks. I heard about that.
Uh,
That she has like
Yeah,
some
and then every
shit.
time you hit somebody with the sniper, it pings it, so it's a big circle around them. So now
Wait,
your teammates can see
you're
who you.
marking them too?
Yeah,
Little tracker.
and she's a,
Yo.
so if you ping like an enemy, she'll tell you how many people are left on their team and
Mm-hmm.
what shields they have. So if like two people on their team died and I ping, it's like only one tango per shield. Now we got
Oh,
all the information we need. It's like, oh, we got to jump him. He by himself.
dope. That seems super vital. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
that's
people
huge.
often
Information is
are
huge.
kind of more drawn to the shiny, showy, aggressive characters or something of that nature. Don't always put as much stock in that type of utility. That's like what when I'm looking for a character in a game, those are the things that I'm looking for. I'm like, oh wait, you mean I get to just sneak pickpocket and know everything about you for free? You better
That's
believe
huge.
that's the champion I
But
play.
I don't even think that's like her best feature. Her best feature has to be Echo, which is her bat. So it's about
Mhm.
40 meters, but basically you send the bat out. So say if I want to get on a ledge that's about 30 meters up,
Mhm.
I'll send
Mhm.
the bat up to the top of the ledge, and then she can pretty much jetpack boost up to her bat. And so she'll fly up to her bat and then land wherever you set the bat at. So
Like
now
the
I got
ring
the high ground.
almost. That what's the name? The chick with the shop. She throws a ring and then jumps to it or some
Yeah.
shit. Sort of like that.
Loba.
Hmm. Is it like a similar
So
feature like that?
um
Or you could like toggle it. Like you could throw it and then leave it there.
yeah, you can send and go out and just leave it there, and then like, so if you go and fight, whenever you get in trouble, you can just turn around to it and
That's
then fly
fire.
to it.
That's
That's
crazy.
ridiculous. So
Yeah,
she's got even more heightened mobility in an already highly focused game. Seems pretty good to me.
yeah.
Seems pretty good to me. I like that. I like that a lot. So that takes care of that one kind of aspect, right? The trifecta. That is the champions and the importance of knowing like what's going on with them, how to pick
Mhm.
again. That's just this is before a game starts. Before a game starts, already you're having to go through all these kind of thought processes. Like, do I just play my main and say fuck it, or do I go into playing into synergies with my team, or do I go into counters against the enemy team? What's my focus here? Am I gonna be playing? But like all of these thoughts are going through your mind beforehand. Then you're talking about You need advantage and you need position, right? So tell us a little bit more about those two concepts.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about positioning because actually that might be the first most important thing other than the legend because um every time the ring closes, so pretty much to do a good rotation, you have to know where the rings are closing at.
Sure.
Um, so what people do is they use it's called respawn beacons. That if you scan a respawn beacon, it'll highlight the next circle for you.
Heard.
So pretty much, if you know where the last circle is, and uh, a good thing to do is when you find that last circle, find the highest ground in that last circle. You hold the high ground when the circle's closing, like when the game's about to end and it gets real tiny. You holding the high ground, and people got to come up to you.
I,
You can just beat
I
them as
have
they
the
come up.
high ground, Anakin.
Pretty
But
much.
that's
That
the
high
beauty
ground
of
shit is
positioning.
huge. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. All right. So positioning is super important. And for that, you got to have that forethought, right? So you're talking about circles, the circle closing in.
There's
Again,
a
for anybody
champ.
who
There's
might not.
certain champions that could like grab the next circle ahead. So like sometimes you want to optimize one of those on the team because you could go in position
A
on the
scout,
next circle.
Sure,
You know what I
sure.
mean?
A
Like
scout
you
for the
already in
circle.
there.
which
So
Vantage also does.
what is
So
this
she has the
circle?
ability to do that too.
Yeah, it sounds really good. What is this circle called in Apex, by the way? That zone.
Like a
What is the
storm.
it's called the
Storm.
storm? The
The
storm? All
storm
right.
is closing. Mhm.
So for anybody who doesn't know, there's like as the game starts, you get a big map and it's clean and there ain't no thing going on with it. But then
Facts.
imagine in your head like a vignette, right? So all the edges start to kind of close in. Everything's creeping in from every corner of the map, usually in the shape of a circle. And anything
Mhm.
outside that circle is that zone, is a storm. You go outside there, you start losing health or you die. And then if you're inside of it, you're safe. That circle gets a little smaller and a little smaller and a little
And
smaller as it goes on. And what else?
and let me add that after every round, the storm gets stronger. So about
Mhm.
round 3, round 4, your health starts to come off. Like you might as well just stop moving because you're dead.
Sure. So you can like kind of tease with the storm early game, but as the game goes on, you can't even mess with that shit or
You
it'll
need to
Yeah,
just
get the
be
fuck away,
her.
bro. Once it start moving, you gotta start
That.
moving. And that's what
they
So
make
they
the game
they
crazy.
do have heat shields now where you can throw the heat shield down.
Mhm.
It'll in rings 3 and 4, it'll buy you like 10 seconds, but
and
the
that's in
storm,
the storm. It's gonna like
yeah,
block storm damage. Heard that.
yeah.
So that's why position is important, right? So you're constantly now. Does the circle, apart from getting small, does it move around at all?
The circle,
Yeah, or does it just get smaller and smaller and smaller? Is there any kind of like center point movement? Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Each round. Well, I've been in a match where it's been the same, but the rotations, like the circle closing, is different. Like
Heard.
Mhm.
it'll like the last circle will be on one side of the map, and then next time you play it on the complete opposite side
Sure,
of the
sure,
map.
sure, sure,
So
sure.
Mhm.
never the same.
Sure, that makes sense. So this is why not just position is important, but skills like that scouting is important, so that you can then get your positioning. So you're having to think ahead, you're having to respond to the situations, you're having to adapt constantly, all the while getting pressured more and more by this storm, which is pushing the players closer and closer together, which is making them fight more and more and more. It's like
Mhm.
for anybody who doesn't know, imagine Hunger Games. It's basically
Pretty
Hunger
much.
Games the game, right? Is what a battle royale is for the most part. Um, so what other kind of scenarios are positioned? Obviously, high ground advantage and being able to get that before your enemy can is of vital importance. Avoiding the storm of in vital importance. Any other kind of tips or things that you generally like try to focus on when positioning, or is it pretty much just
Ga-
those things like high ground, high ground, high ground?
Gatekeeping.
Gatekeeping. All right, tell us about that. What is gatekeeping and when do
So
you use it?
so pretty much when the circle closes on your map, you'll see the outline of the circle, the safe zone.
Heard
So
that.
if I have a position on the outside of the circle and you're trying to get in the circle, trying to fight the storm, now I can gatekeep you from getting in the safe zone. So now you got to fight us to get in, or you're gonna die
Heard.
to the storm.
Heard. So there's all kinds of things that you can play into just nothing but positioning. You're not at any point have you talked about shooting people. Have you talked about cornering people? None of this has come into context. All we're talking about right now is be in the right place. at the right time, y'all. That's important. And if
Facts.
you can get the info to be there sooner, great, amazing. Amazing. So that is that positioning factor. That is that legend factor. Now the advantage factor. How do you get the advantage? What most often makes you lose the advantage? And anything else about that? I would love to hear it.
Advantages could be a number of things. Pos- Positioning is an advantage. If
Heard,
I'm shooting and I knock one of your teammates, that is an advantage because now it's a 3v2, and now this
heard,
is we're about to push you now. Like,
heard.
or if I crack your shield and knock your shield off, and your flesh damage is pretty much your shield is gone, and now
Hmm.
you get flesh
Heard.
That's
damage.
like that raw health.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So now I know in the back of my head that you got to pop syringes and shields now. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna push you.
Heard.
Two
Makes
different
sense.
forms of healing. The syringes will heal the flesh health, like he was talking about, and then the shields will recharge your shields.
Sure.
Like you
Sure.
can
And your
upgrade your
shields go down
shields.
first. Once the
Hmm.
shields are down, then your health starts getting
Yep.
damaged.
Yep.
Pretty common mechanic. That
You
makes
could
total
upgrade your
sense.
shields by damage too, which is a nice implement that they have. So you'll start off with a 2 little white shield that's 2. You do a couple damage, it turns blue. Now you could get like a 3
Okay,
bar.
so the more damage you do, the more shield you gain.
Yes,
Is that how? That's kind of
and
cool. So it's like
there's
a
like a counter to it.
overshield lifesteal almost.
Yep.
I like that. That pushes aggression and it rewards it in a game that already is an aggressive. See, those are the kind of mechanics that I feel like
And then
should
you
be in
sit
more
there.
games.
Now check it. When you hit somebody, the your reticle will show, or like your little crosshair will show the color of the shield.
Reticle,
So
reticle,
you so
yeah, yeah.
you sit there and hit somebody and that shit is red and you like, oh, this motherfucker got a maxed out shield. He been killing people first off. And second of
Yep.
all, like he got a red shield, like he got 5 bars. Like, yo, oh yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah,
That
it's
makes
nasty.
sense. So apart from positioning, right, which probably, from what it sounds like, is the most important advantage and the one you're often seeking out the most. If you got a a highly mobile game and you're forced to walk around because of the storm and all of these other kinds of things, then yeah, position obviously is like the number one advantage you're always searching for.
Hmm.
Outside of that, what do you tend to kind of look for advantage wise? Like, do you put, how can I put this? What advantages do you try to create for yourself? So, using an example here, going back to League, I'm a support player. So, to create an advantage for myself, what can I do? Well, I can bait the enemy laner. I can walk up real close, force them to use an ability that I know they're going to use, force them to miss it, or I dodge it, right? So now I know that ability's on cooldown. They use that mana. I didn't get damage, and now I have an advantage over them because I forced that, and I could do that over and over and over. And I'm always seeking those kinds of advantages. Like, all right, this person is now about to auto attack because they have to get this last hit on this minion. And if they auto attack to get the last hit on the minion, which they have to do if they want the money, then they're locked into that animation, and then I'm going to auto attack them during that time because they can't auto attack me. So again, creating those advantages, right? I'm curious in a game like Apex, what are those top advantages you're trying to create? Obviously, as one was just mentioned, doing damage. Doing damage is the easiest advantage, it sounds like, because that's giving you a shield, and all you have to do is shoot someone. That's
Hmm.
a pretty easy advantage.
I think a
What
huge
others?
advantage, and just for my input before you jump in, Trey,
100%.
cooldowns, because you mentioned cooldowns, like when
Cooldowns.
that's a huge relation that we can compare to League of Legends. One of our people in League of Legends, the characters use a big spell. We like, that shit's on cooldown. He can't do that again for X amount of time. That's the
Heard.
advantage point right there. So very similar, I think, comes to Apex because they have like short spells that recharge fast every couple seconds, and they got the ultimates that recharge, same kind of way that will take a minute or so to recharge. So like cooldowns is huge in that.
Yep.
That that
Cooldowns.
that'll kind of show you your advantage.
Heard. Heard.
And
So what kind? Go ahead. Go ahead, please
I was gonna
continue.
say another good one is focus firing. If you notice, some of the best players in the world focus fire. If so, say if it's 3v3, right, and we're
Hmm.
shooting we're
Oh,
shooting,
okay.
and then I get a good shot on a Wraith and knock her shield off, and I say focus Wraith, focus Wraith. Now my other two teammates are now shooting at Wraith. Now 9 times out of 10 at the pro level, the Wraith is going to get beamed by my teammates, and especially if they have good angles. Three is so instead of doing a 3v3, it's 3v1. And
Sure.
once we take her out, now it's a 3v2. So, now we can push because now we took one of your teammates out.
Right. So creating the advantage there is getting the good hit, right? You got the good hit in, that creates the advantage. The shield is broke, the shield is low or whatever. And then taking advantage of that moment is communication. Her shield's broke,
Communication.
fucking killer, right? So
Right.
those are like
Let's
the
all jump on
two
her at the
points
same
that are
time.
very important in a lot of these aspects. Is like either identifying a mistake or making them mess up or doing something really good yourself. They all kind of fall into that same sphere. So you're creating the advantage and then communicate the advantage or take advantage of it. You have to also do that one. That's also important. You can create advantages all day, but if you're not doing anything about it, like okay, that's amazing. I love it. So on that brings us perfectly to our 1 hour mark. So at the 1 hour mark, we usually like to take a little bit of a little breather, if you need to use the restroom right now, if you need to drink some water, what have you, any of that kind of stuff. We're still live, we're still hanging out, we're still chatting. It's just most the editing podcast purposes, what have you. This is kind of moment we can cut out. So I am going to take advantage of this, go use the restroom real quick, and I'll be right back. Yeah.
All right.
I love it, man. You vibing, bro? This shit is
I'm
kind of
vibing.
chill.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it, bro. Good to see you, man. For real, bro. If y'all
Good seeing
know
you too, bro.
this little back history, man. This is one of former or maybe current Bond members. One of my brothers we grew up with in the streaming journey and rocked out with for the past couple
Yes,
years.
sir.
Good to see this whole transition, man. Like I say, King, formerly known as King Pyro, now got the Ghettonerdtrey shit going on. It's a beautiful transition, bro. I love it so far. I love the meaning behind it too. Now that I understand it.
Yeah, shoot, I like what that low that low shit is catchy. Love always wins. That's catchy.
Good looking, bro. Good looking, man. Yeah, we trying to set something up. Like I said, for young one and all that, man. Make sure that you got something that he can walk into, and I know it's being done the way we want it done. At the same time, like everybody could get what they get from me,
Yeah.
what they get from Bomb, and there's no like friction or no like nothing against it and shit like that. So it was a good move, and I'm loving it so far, bro. It's a really good squad.
No, for sure.
He back home at the setup. Yeah, finally, bro. We finally back home, man. Yeah, I've been away for like a week, bro. We had some stuff going on. IRL stuff, but we got it all handled.
All right. I am back. All right. So do we still need some time? Anybody else need any time? Or are we good to get back at it?
Good.
Perfect.
Sure.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We're getting back at it with our guest tonight. Can't wait to get back into the rest of this. We've got Ghettonerdtrey here with us. We just kind of been covering right now what his main game is, his mainstay. We got him playing Apex, a dope game. Check him out on his socials.
Well,
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Oh,
We get
shit.
into something else.
Well.
Go ahead. Well. Tell us all about it. What is this? Well, go forward, my guy.
Apex is our main game, but I would have to say I think I RP the most though.
Oh shit. Nice.
I am a GTA RPer. Yes, I am.
Heck yeah! Now that's
fire.
dope. Now we got a pretty strong community.
Yeah, we got
in
a really
association
dope,
with this.
really dope
Yeah.
RP server.
Oh,
if you
yeah,
wanna come
we
jump
do.
in and
Oh,
whatnot.
yeah,
Shout
we
out to
do.
Mojic and the LS Times over there, man. They got a good shit going on right now.
Okay.
That's great. What kind of server are you at right now? What kind of character you got? Why have you been focusing on this content? I want to get into all these things.
I don't know.
So right now I'm in the wonderful Sin City RP.
Sin City RP.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Sin City
now,
RP.
that's dope. Is this like following more the OG comics or more like the movie feature version?
I mean,
It's
Is
all
this
of
the
the
name or
above.
something?
it's just Sin City, you know.
I like it. I like it. That's dope. So, who are you and what do you do?
I actually have two characters.
Yeah.
One character is named Trey Flair. He's a CEO and business owner of Bahama Mamas.
Uh-huh. Sure he
He
is.
he also may or allegedly not finagle in the street.
Uh-huh. Bet.
He has a wonderful girlfriend named
Allegedly.
Season. You know,
Okay.
so it's a good storyline. He has a big family. 4 brothers. Uh, god sisters, all that stuff. So Oh, and he has a motorcycle club too.
Oh, now what kind of motorcycle you riding? Do you
Oh,
have one? I presume part of the club?
crotch rocket. I got
Nice little
Let's
crotch
go.
rocket. Is the whole club crotch rocket scene?
yep,
That's fire.
Rough Rider vibe.
Facts. I like it.
Yeah,
I
bet
fucks with
y'all.
it.
Do you all have like matching jackets and stuff like that? Y'all got
On the way, on the way.
That's
Yeah,
dope. When you doing this RP though, you got to set time for this. You
yes,
got some type of
that's dope.
schedule.
I am working. Yep, don't worry, it's coming. It's
It's
coming.
coming. All right, all right, all right.
Yes,
Where
This
can
is
we look out for that?
upcoming.
Will it
This
be
is
on all your
world
socials
premieres.
whenever that
Yes, it
comes?
will, and it will be streaming on
Perfect.
Twitch too.
Oh,
Fire.
perfect. Now,
You
how
heard
big
it
of a
here
server are you
first.
playing on? How many other people like are coming through it?
It's a pretty good server, especially on the weekends and nights.
That's
Oh,
dope.
It's a good. Everybody RPs. It's fun. It's fun.
now, are y'all like adding other players right now? What is the state of this server? You are. All right. So if people are interested in joining your
Mhm.
GTA RP server, where can they find information for that? Obviously, from you directly.
Mhm.
But what's the name of the server? Give us a little bit more. It's Sin City. We know you're one of your characters at least. Give us a little bit more sprinkles of, what people could expect. Like, why would they want to come to your server, right? Not to sell your server per se, but in the sense of like, if he's interested in playing, here's what yours offers. I want to know.
Mhm.
Okay, so Sin City server is a serious RP server, founded by my good friend Yamaya and Naja, wonderful owners. It's a pretty good server. There's a lot of businesses. We have police, we have EMS, a lot of business opportunities. If you're into the illegal stuff, there's a lot of drugs you can sell, a lot of dealerships you could buy cars. It's a lot to do. It's a lot.
Sure.
We
That's
have
fire.
events frequently, almost every weekend. So but the main thing is the serious RP server. I know that the word serious gets thrown around, and just like when you get there, it's not too serious. It ends up being semi-serious, and then you kind of like stray away from it. But we really emphasize the RP part of RP.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
That's
So
dope.
I find this super fascinating, this whole GTA RP thing.
Mhm.
There's two kind of real big points that I think are really, really quite special about it. So first off, for anybody who doesn't know, GTA RP is Auto role playing. So it is basically these really nice big servers that people are playing on together, GTA games, and they are creating characters, creating communities, creating cities, creating whole worlds basically
Mhm.
that have kind of a backstory, and you can play as different characters. Sometimes they're managed characters by the dev, or not the dev, the server manager, the server, I don't know, the server owner. Sometimes roles are managed by the server owner, and sometimes the players themselves come up with their characters and roles. So if
Mhm.
anybody ever has interest in like you come from a D&D background, but you're looking for a more IRL hard kind
Yup.
of RP situation, this
Type
is
of
a really great way to do
3D.
it.
Yo, it's dope, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I found it really cool because I do have that more like D&D style fantasy background with RP. I love
Mhm.
RP. I love theater. I love fucking around
That's
with that
pretty
kind of
much
stuff.
what
It's
the
super fun.
GTA stuff
But
is
I've
too.
never gotten into the GTA aspect. This is
Mhm.
very recent in my wheelhouse. It's been super fascinating to me. I want to know all about it. I want to know all about it. Who's your other character and what do they got going on?
Oh, my other character is Captain Christopher Turk. You know, he- Christopher Turk. We all know what Christopher. If you watch Scrubs, you know who Christopher Turk is.
Yeah,
Oh
But
I
man.
like it.
but he's a cop, so
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
captain. He's just a hard ass police officer, man. He don't take no shit. Just no disrespect. He often gets in trouble sometimes because if somebody talk crazy to him, he quick to take the vest off and square up with people.
Sin City, you don't want to mess with the cops. They take out their vests here. Woo,
He cut the
it's
body
getting
cam off.
spicy.
Like, fuck out of here. Yo, that's
Body
terrible.
cam was on my jacket. My jacket was on the ground. Oops. Yup. Damn. Yeah, GTA RP. That is fun stuff right there.
That
That
shit,
is
yo,
super
bro.
fun stuff.
You see a lot of dope content out of there,
Uh,
man.
what is it? Is it SBG Savage Bunch Gaming? Right. That's where they
Mhm.
do the other one. Is that correct?
Yeah, the
So
Ellis
that's another
Times.
community that's pretty successful and has a
Mhm.
pretty like big following. If you ever have interest in joining other communities as well, or you're trying to do any crossover stuff, I would suggest kind of checking them out. I know they've got a
Definitely.
good strong community. Discord, we could send you that afterward if you have interest, whatever,
Okay,
etc.
cool.
We'll get there. We'll get
Got you, bro.
there. Hell yeah. So outside of then this, have you really been doing any other gaming? Or has it mostly been the RP?
Let's see the three main games I've been playing right now.
Mhm.
4 actually: Valhalla, Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
And that's more of a is that more of a solo or is that
Solo.
okay? All right.
Yeah.
That's
Bet.
more of a type, if I stream it, enjoy the storyline as I go through it type thing.
Heard.
Heck yeah.
Heard. Now, with that kind of game, do you I've noticed with certain kind of games, right? To this myself, but I've noticed with certain games, of course, they're like much easier for chat engagement when streaming. So it seems like to me that style of game is much better for chat engagement. You can take your time, you can like pause when you need to, fuck
Yep.
A lot of
around.
puzzle
It's not
shit too.
have
That's
to
pretty
quite
cool.
like, oh shit, this is, I gotta be quiet. That doesn't come in quite as much.
Mhm.
That doesn't come in quite as much. I like that. So what else we got? We got the Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Harry Potter is on the list right now.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
What
Now,
what
have you
house?
played through it yet, or are you still actively doing so, or have you
So
started?
I have started. I recently restarted actually.
Okay.
Something with the PlayStation 5 or the corrupts can't sync them.
Oof,
Whatever. So
Wow, bogus.
oof,
I started over. I actually made a witch this time.
bet,
What house? What
bet.
house?
Raven Ravenclaw.
Yo, baby, come on. That's yo. I'm not gonna lie. I
I,
haven't jumped in yet, but I'm totally going Ravenclaw.
you
Man,
jumping on Ravenclaw? Is that what you said? You
Raven.
want that Ravenclaw? Yeah.
I'm in there.
Yo, I've been Slytherin since day one. Like since the very first book came out, straight up, I was like, "That's my house."
I kind of like
Thank
the
you.
blue. I ain't gonna
That's where
lie.
the
Though.
gremlins are. Yup. Bet. Let's
True.
go.
Okay, Slytherin. Okay.
Yo, they're not all bad. They're just some
Well,
misunderstood, They
A
take
little
the alternate
misunderstood.
route, that's all.
she do have a Gryffindor character too. Because
Bet.
That's
I
fire.
heard through a little birdie that the houses have specific storylines in the game.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
heard Gryffindor
okay.
got 1,000 extra free quests or some shit. Crazy. So if
Yo,
you
they
want
got
shit
the
like,
special treatment.
So people are going to end up making a character for each house just to experience and
Totally.
that was smart. That was smart to make different storylines for the different houses.
That gives a little bit more of that replayability, right?
Yeah.
So that's
yeah,
pretty nice. So we got
they did
the
really good with the
RP, we
game.
got
I think.
GTA RP, we got the Hogwarts Legacy. What else we got going on? What are the other two that you got popping off right now?
Of course, Apex.
Of course,
Definitely.
Apex. There's the Apex in there. I bet. What's the last one that you've been messing around with?
Oh man, Call of Duty.
Oh shit! All
Oh
right.
yeah, which one? I see. I'm so unfamiliar with this kind of stuff. So what does that mean? When I hear COD, that's like a million games, right? Is it just the most recent one usually?
Modern Warfare 2. So I play Warzone and multiplayer. So
Okay.
Heard.
kinda, I like DMZ too, which is kind of like Warzone, but with more mission based.
Yeah,
So
that's official. All right. So we got a little bit of everything. Oh, do we have any schedule or streaming times right like as of now?
okay, so after the weekend. It's gonna be Monday through Friday, 6
Mhm.
p.m., 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And
For
there will
sure.
also be a birthday stream. My birthday is Saturday.
This
Oh
coming
shit.
Saturday?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Y'all heard it
sir.
here. Wait, what's the date? That date?
February 18th.
February 18th.
Detail.
We got Ghettonerdtrey's birthday. Purr, purr, purr. How old are you turning,
Beep,
my
beep,
guy?
beep, beep, beep.
I am turning 32.
Hey,
A
let's
nice
go.
shiny
Beautiful.
32. Y'all
Hell yeah.
absolutely love it.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
early birthday to you, my guy.
Definitely.
So
Appreciate
glad
it.
for that.
Happy
Hell
early
yeah. Making it
birthday,
another
bro.
year. Yo, that means a lot these
Facts.
days.
Nah, for
So
real,
I
for
haven't picked
real.
the start time yet. I'm debating on doing a 24, but like I just said, I
I'm
just
with
turned
it.
32. So
That shit might.
It's hard now.
Yo, the secret, yo, just to plug something, right? The secret, we do. I've done a lot of these long ass streams. The secret to these long ass streams, man, definitely the food and the water. That's huge. Make sure you're
Yup.
eating and drinking. But the real ultimate secret, bro, is having friends in different time zones. Cause like when
Yeah.
you get to those dead
Oh,
hours when it's like 3 in the morning
That
over
one.
here and everybody's sleep, you got the homies in Australia. This is midday for them. You feel me? They
Yup.
vibing out wide awake, yelling at you at fucking 3 in the morning. Or you can
That
sit
like
there.
energy refresh is real
hmm
nice. Yeah,
yeah.
Or
it's
you
real
get like
nice.
the homies from the UK that are 5 hours ahead, so they just waking up and starting their day. And they getting you through your fucking crazy ass night. Like, yo, I'm telling you, the secret is having homies like different time zones, and
Yeah.
that shit makes it easy. So if you do think about it, you'll be kind of good. Like, if you set it up that way or some shit,
Mm-hmm.
you can get through that.
I love it.
Cause it's the
I
dead
love it.
time. Like you be sitting there dead, like, bro, I'm by myself. Like I'm going to
Yeah.
sleep. Like,
I was talking to G earlier. Glow Dynasty, for those of you who don't know, check him
Mhm.
out. Great
Yes,
guy, great
sir.
guy.
The
Glow.
Hey,
homie glow, son.
hey, he's about to go on a road trip, right?
Yeah.
And I was just giving him basically the same advice. Yeah, if y'all are ever having to do any kind of multi-houred haul, pretty much the most important things are snacks, something to drink, and some form of engagement to keep you
Mhm.
awake. Teddy was mentioning having people in alternate time zones. That's more engagement. That's more energy. Whatever. You could listen to a podcast if that wakes you up. Whatever. But those three things are real important recipes when you're trying to do those long hauls. So yeah,
Mhm.
get yourself some nice snacks, some nice drinks. What do you tend to like during your sessions of grinding? What do you go to? So like I'm a tea master. I'm over here tea
Facts.
all day. I'll have a cup of tea, 2 or 3 mugs of tea, my water. Sometimes I might have like a little bit of a fizzy drink, but if so, it's usually just, a seltzer. What is it that you go to with these drinks?
All right, don't judge me, y'all, but I'm an energy drink drinker. So,
That's
Oh,
cool.
that's a gaming standard. No
Which one?
worries here.
I got to go with the bangs.
Okay.
So you messing with the bangs. You messing with the bangs. I like that.
Oh,
Yo,
Rays, Raze.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
Rays look good.
Heard that. Heard that.
Sweet.
Sell
Okay.
some of that. Get yourself some water and some good
Yeah,
snacks.
definitely get water
Gaming
because that would
24 hours.
those would dehydrate you
Them
real
shit's
quick.
got me.
Yeah, a lot of salt. That's a lot of salt.
Love it, man.
I love it. So that 24-hour is gonna be your birthday stream. Is that right?
Right. It's gonna be 12 or 24.
Or okay, one or the
want to
other.
give everyone 12, but
Most
the
def.
jury is still out for 24.
And when are you gonna start that?
Probably Friday night. Roll it
Friday
into
night.
the birthday.
I
Oh,
bet
okay, that'll be
that's gonna be
fire.
dope. So
That'll be hype.
we'll get that like couple hour coming up on the birthday situation. Gonna be a good one.
That'll be hype.
Gonna be a good one. Can't wait for everybody to come and hang out for that. Wonderful. Yo, we should get some of that posted up in the Discord for that stream
Mhm.
whenever that goes down.
Oh, we're
Wonderful.
gonna have a good time.
That's wonderful. Now, what are you gonna be playing mostly, or what are you gonna be doing? Are you gonna be playing games? How do you want this stream to go? What can we look forward to?
Oh man. So 90% it's gonna be some drinks involved, so we might have some karaoke.
I get hydrated, yeah. Get some
Yo, that's gonna be
karaoke. Get
lit.
your
I'm with it.
voices
I'm in
lubed
there
up
if it's
and ready.
karaoke.
I like it.
I've been waiting
Might
for
open up
karaoke for
Discord, let
months.
people come in and sing.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
in
yo,
there.
you gotta have viewers coming in there.
I'm in
That'd
there.
be fire. Yo, playing
I'm
with
on auto
viewers. I
karaoke.
like
Let's do it.
We definitely gonna have the Apex. You know, we gotta have the Apex.
Facts.
Bet.
Might run some
Wonderful.
customs or some shit, or we just sending it.
Oh man, it depends, man.
If you got
It's
the
easy
peeps,
to get customs now. You know.
oh, everybody can run them.
Yeah, I mean, you could like it's before it was like real hard to request for a code for those, but
That's what I'm
usually
saying.
the
Like now
response
you could
time is pretty
just.
quick.
I see.
Yeah.
So what are customs now? What is that? You just can like slot in the people you want? Is they give you a little server for a second or some shit?
Give us a server, so pretty much
That's fire.
we filled the battle royale with our people.
Hit
Get
them
the
up.
birthday
I'm a content
server.
creator. I want to do something for the birthday. Give me my server.
Yeah,
Yo,
dude.
that'll
See if
be
they'll
the
like
shit.
give you any drops or anything. I don't know. It doesn't hurt to ask, right?
Right,
Damn.
exactly.
Dope. That'll be fine.
That's super dope. All right, so we're gonna be doing some potential karaoke, joining in for drinks. Everybody's gonna be staying nice and
Yeah, that'd be dope.
hydrated. Get some
I'm with
Apex.
that
Anything
shit. I'ma
else
pull up for
potentially
that
on the
one.
docket?
Fall Guys definitely got
It's
it.
the
So we,
Fall Guys.
Alright, I gotta
Hell
update the
yeah.
Fall Guys.
This is a party night, huh?
it's a party night. Yeah, we gotta have games that a viewer can play. You know, there won't be no single player games that night.
Heck yeah. Alright, so I gotta
That's
update
amazing.
the Fall Guys. We in there. Fall Guys is popping, bro. I'm grabbing all the ankles and motherfuckers come down. What's up with
I'm
Gang Beast? You
definitely
don't got Gang
gonna be
Beast?
watching that. Teddy's gonna be talking his shit. Let's see who we can stand up to.
Oh.
That's gonna be great.
Which one was stupid, man? The one that you gotta like find out which circle to go in, or whatever the heck. Like you jump to the next platform.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the dumbest one to me, bro. I always lose in that one, bro. I can't. You just guessing.
Yeah, that and Among Us. We might do Among Us.
So, bunch of really like inclusive viewer type stuff. That's what I like. So, this is a good. If y'all want to have an interactive vibe, this is what I'm hearing. If y'all have an interest in an interactive experience with your boy Trey right here, then you should stop by his stream. To 24 hours birthday stream, great time. Playing with viewers all day long, starting just a couple hours before the birthday to send it off. It's going to be amazing. Those all sound like really fun games. That reminds me of like going over to my friend's house as a little shit ass kid, playing some Mario Party till the wee hours of the mornings, like getting, getting what is it, blisters on my thumbs from spamming so hard trying to blow up balloons and stuff like that. Yo. That's real. That's real stuff. That's super fun. I love that.
Oh yeah, I'm with it, bro. I'm gonna pull up.
Yes, sir.
That shit.
We're gonna have a good time.
So now, getting back to kind of more like regular content. What do we have? Anything new coming up? You're on the Hogwarts Legacy right now. You're on the Apex right now. You're on the RP right now. I've got I can just rapid fire off 5, 6, 7 games coming out this year alone that haven't even come out yet that I'm super stoked and excited about. Do you have anything of that nature? Anything coming up that you've been really looking forward to, that you've been hounding, chomping at the bit, or is it pretty much all here for you right now?
Also a sports gamer too. So it's been some years since NCAA had a football game.
They about to pop up. Don't tease me. Time out.
Yeah, EA Sports actually made an NCAA again, and it's supposed to drop this year. So I might be on the midnight release for that one.
It says summer 24. Hold up.
Oh, they pushed it? Oh, don't tell me that.
No.
December 24th? Yeah.
Summer 24, like summertime.
Dang. So yeah, the last time I checked, they said it was supposed to be, when Man comes out. But
Heard.
I mean, if they pushed it back, it had to be a reason, Just don't wait too long because I've been waiting a long time for that game. But I mean, I can't really think of nothing else that not to my knowledge that's coming out. Maybe I could refresh my memory. Like
Oh, you're
what's going
good. You're good. It sounds to me like you are pretty much where you want to be with the
Oh
game
wait,
releases, and you're enjoying
July
yourself.
2023. Let's see.
Perfect. Oh,
on. Oh,
excuse me.
I see
yeah.
something for July 2023. So
I gotta
Oh,
step away 1 second, you all. Carry
yes,
it
all
sir.
forward.
right.
I'll be right back.
That'll be
July
lit.
2023. Yeah,
I
that's the
love,
one I saw.
I
Mhm.
love, bro. I love me some college football.
I'm
That shit
telling you,
is.
bro.
Who you playing? Or who you rocking with?
You know, I'm a Hurricane, man. You know, I love my
Ah,
Hurricanes. Miami, the U.
the U is amazing. I can't go wrong with the U, bro. They had Sean Taylor.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I can't go.
I'm telling you. I'm
Man,
telling you.
that's it. They won.
Pretty much.
I had fucking like wasn't Ed Reed there? Wasn't like Ray Lewis?
Ray Lewis, man.
Fucking
Oh,
what's going
Clinton
on that
Portis.
shit? Clinton Portis
They
came,
had,
yes, sir. Cause he was with
man, they
Sean
had
Taylor. You was crazy. You was crazy. I've always fucked with Oregon, bro. Fuck with Oregon for a while.
Oregon, yeah.
I love them in college, bro. Like they don't know about LaMichael James and fucking D'Anthony Thomas
Hey,
and shit. Like how crazy them days were.
yeah.
Like you know who broke my heart recently? Where the hell is Sammy Watkins,
Ooh,
bro? Cause like in college,
dang.
that was the dog, bro. Like he
Yeah.
was insane in college. Like what happened? That shit break my heart, bro.
That Super Bowl broke my heart.
Oh no. Oh
Not
no.
like
Why
this.
the Super Bowl break your heart? What was your heart set on that got it broken?
Not for reasons you think. That's because the Eagles messed up my parlay. So I
Oh
was
Uh
no.
upset.
Oh no.
All they had to do was win. Like,
That's the meta right there. That's the meta strats. Oh no.
that was a bold move, yo. Andy Reid, that dude, bro. He
I
hit him with
know.
that same move twice back. Like yo, just reversed it. I was
In the beginning of the game, I thought it was. I was like, "Oh yeah, I got this. This in the bag." The Chiefs look terrible. Then second half, done deal.
too clean, bro. I saw like stats that was crazy. It was like 0 sacks, 0 penalties. Like they was
But
running.
that's why I
It was
respect
wild.
Mahomes. He got hurt, injured his ankle. Did
You
you
saw the
see the
last run?
scramble he had? Did you see that scramble on a sprained ankle, bro?
At the end of this shit, he hurt like yo.
Me and my dad, because I went to my dad's house to watch it. We was like, if he was healthy, he'd have been gone. Like
That
they
would have
wouldn't
been
have
a
called.
touchdown. Yeah, that was crazy, bro. He still got like a 15, 20 yard scramble off that. That was insane.
I was like, damn, that was a good Super Bowl though, and I like that's
Hmm
the Super Bowls we
Even
like to
with
watch.
the quote unquote controversial stuff, cause it was a hold, point blank period. It was two holds actually. They just like you're
Yeah,
not supposed to call that at this moment and shit. I don't know. But besides
I
all of
think he
that stuff, it was
solidified.
really good. It was really good. Fucking
I think he solidified his ballot. I mean, he still got some more seasons to go, but if he keep playing as he playing now,
even just like this, he could just
Mahomes will be a
stop.
Hall of Fame. Mahomes
Hmm
will be a Hall of Fame if he keeps playing at this level.
I don't even think he need to do more. I think everything more is just going is extra. It's just adding on. I think he could drop right now and just still jump in there 4 years. That would be crazy. Imagine that. I'm in the Hall of Fame, 30 years old.
Two Su- two Super Bowl MVPs, two Super Bowls, and two MVPs. Like,
3 trips. He lost one, so like he went three
yeah,
times already.
and he lost to the GOAT. I mean,
Like that shit is crazy. 5 AFC championships or some shit in a row. It was crazy. Is you either like to get to the Super Bowl, you gotta play Mahomes. You gonna lose to him or you gonna beat him, and it's like, all right, cool, my
and and really, the
turn.
year that he lost, his team sold him out because it was that defense that got Mahomes, but his receivers
Mhm.
is dropping passes and stuff.
They looking good now, and it's looking cheap. That shit was 20 mil for the whole locker room instead of paying Tyreek 30. So I'm just saying, like they did good with that.
They got my boy Juju too
Got him a
from
ring. That
Pittsburgh.
was good. It was nice seeing Juju out there smiling and shit. That was dope. He was He was in a bad situation in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
That was dope.
yeah. It was a good Super Bowl. I'm glad
Mhm.
for it. Especially last year was a blowout. But we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a sore subject. Last year's Super Bowl. Oh no.
That was nasty.
I remember hearing about that last year from Teddy.
That was
Yeah.
nasty.
Just the handshakes. Yo, I feel it. I feel it. Mm.
Man.
Boy. All right. Well, we had about like the hour and a half mark. How
Okay,
you
okay.
feeling, bro? Because I know you definitely hit me with some time stuff. You got some time to vibe out. We can get back to this content stuff.
Hell yeah.
We got a little bit more time. Let's do it.
No doubt, no doubt. So, you mentioned those 5 games, right? Do you have anything upcoming? Like, I'm still poking at the schedule and stuff because I kind of want to hear what you got going on. Do you have anything upcoming like that? You could get some sneak peeks on.
Um, let's just say the Apex plan I'm doing is for a larger purpose.
Okay.
Let's just say that the coach that's trying to become the coach, professionally coach.
You're
All
trying to
right.
become a professional coach for Apex? Is that what I'm hearing?
That'll
Mhm.
be dope,
Y'all
man.
heard it. Yo, is this the first place? Is this a first announcement? Or have I mentioned this before?
It's only the beginning, so I don't want to say too much.
Let's
Oh, that's all
go,
right. You
baby.
already said
It's
enough. We know. We got you.
Fucking world
Y'all
premieres,
heard. Y'all
perfect
heard.
clearance.
We got a potential
so
coach in the making right here, y'all.
so
Love
the
it, bro. Good
program
luck
is
with that,
six
man. For
to a
real.
year, so it's a
It's how long?
long journey ahead. It's
Heard
only
that.
month one.
It's how long you
Heard
said?
that.
What you say?
How long is the program?
6 months to a year. Just depending on how fast you learn.
Okay, that's fine. All
That's
right,
dope.
But
so you're
at the end of it, I expect to be a fucking dog. And
mm,
my coach, he's a dog. he's
that's
an animal on
fire. So
PC.
you have like a mentor to like guide you or whatnot.
Yeah.
That's official. So now with this, would you incorporate any of this coaching into your streams, into your content?
Yep.
That's dope.
Okay.
Yep. So you know how people do. So I've seen a lot of YouTube how tos. People. YouTube make videos on how to play, tips, tricks, and stuff. But I've never seen like live training. Like if I'm playing a game, I'm coaching as I'm playing.
Uh huh.
That's
So
my favorite thing, honestly. That's like that. I think is my base language is like trying to teach people shit as I'm doing it. I love that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I love that. That's so fun.
That's my
And being
favorite
in a
part about
position where you are
Twitch.
100% being in a position where you are like getting that nice mentorship coaching on this in preparation to do that yourself and knowing that that's what you're doing on the onset, that's super fire. That's gonna give you so much insight. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's gonna be dope, man.
And
That
then the
would.
thing that and the purpose is to teach, but the big purpose is to open up conversation too.
Of
Mm,
course. Of course.
It's like, okay, why did you do that? Okay, I explained it. And you'd be like, oh, well, I don't necessarily agree with that. Okay. Well, tell me why you didn't agree with it. Let's have a conversation about it. Now we're having
mm-hmm.
a
100%.
dialogue on stream now.
Yep. There's not one approach to every
It's not.
situation.
Everybody
There's
thinks different. Like,
Everybody.
totally. And there might be some like, efficient or what are they, min-maxed strategies, builds, et cetera, et cetera. At
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, if you practice a very specific strategy that is not common, but you get real good at that, and that's your technique, you can take that forward to any level of gameplay as long as you actually understand the core mechanics of the game and you're still playing to those, right? Like you can play around within that in any kind of way. I love that stuff so much. I think that is probably my like top preferred kind of game style. That's some good stuff right there.
And then part of the coaching is to be so skilled to completely dominate. But we never talk about
I mean, we
that.
take progression, small progressions. All right, if I can get you from goal 4 to 2, I did my job.
Yeah.
That's right, 100%. Oh, definitely. Are you kidding me? Even just being able to answer like real short, quick questions for
Hmm.
somebody who's watching, you'd be like, "Oh, why did you do this thing? Oh, I never thought about that. That's dope." So, another example. I like using examples for people because I think that
Hmm.
I mean they help me a lot. So, I was watching Dark and Darker the other day and noticed that somebody was taking their boots off intentionally. And boots give you movement speed in this game, and movement speed is hyper important in this game. So I was very curious. I couldn't figure it out, and then somebody called them out in chat, say, "Yo, put out your boots, idiot!" And a couple seconds later, streamer responded, "Yo, I know I lost move speed. I'm not wearing my boots right now because it makes me like 80% quieter and I'm trying to sneak. I think that's the only way I can win this game right now." So they just threw off their boots, even though it was creating a disadvantage on one aspect to create an advantage on another.
Hmm.
That, yeah, it's debatable. Is it better to have the move speed? Is it better to be a little quieter? It kind of depends on everybody's playstyle, how they're going to approach the situation. But it's those exact moments coming out, arising, getting called out that allow for like more plays to be seen and developed. And so I think, yeah, doing it on Twitch, doing it live is a really great approach.
Heck yeah, everybody has their own opinion and looks and stuff.
Exactly. And uh engagement and interaction,
Hmm.
right? Because somebody might be like, "The fuck are you doing? Stupid, do this thing."
That's
Or
not
be like,
meta.
"Oh
Like
my
what?
gosh, what is that? I never thought
Hmm.
of that. You're a genius." Like you get people on every aspect of it. And so it really pushes a lot of that engagement. If people are watching you already because they like the game, that means they got a lot of their own ideas about that game. And if you can kind of like access and unlock those ideas for them, that's a talk about making viewers.
Hmm.
I like that quite a
Most
bit.
definitely. So what is like meta right now in Apex? Like, what are the
Seer.
spams? Seers?
Seer.
Wow. Isn't that like just the that big orb shit or whatever the heck?
Mm-hmm. Seer and Valkyrie.
Mhm.
I watched the ALGS, which is the pro league, and every team had a Seer and a Valkyrie.
Is
Like,
that just for early game pushing and shit? Cause like what happens with the Valkyrie late game?
so Valkyrie is good for positioning and rotating
Hmm.
because her ultimate, you can fly up in the sky and fly to a different point in the map. You get repositioned at any given time, essentially.
Hmm. But again, isn't that like more so like I know it's very great early for the early circles, but like you if you jump it in the air and it's a small ass circle and you fucking fly out accidentally, you throw the whole game.
Yeah. Um. I mean, there were some people that used it late game. Um.
Hmm.
They didn't really fly outside the circle. Some of them just flew straight up and came straight back down. Because when she's in the air, it pings where everyone is around you. So
Hmm.
That's why.
Yeah,
That's why. It's
it
just, yeah.
shows, yeah, it shows everybody. So you
Yep.
just jumping
That's
up and you
huge.
can fly back down. So
That's huge.
okay, so
Again, those
Valkyrie
utility
Seer.
mechanics, I feel like
yeah.
they're underused and underappreciated. This is something that you got to share with the world. You got to share with this with the world, Trey. Let them know that these are strong mechanics. These are what the pros are using. These
Mhm.
are the things that actually work. Like, sure, damage is shiny, flashy weapons are nice, but like if you could just know where all of the enemies are, what they have
Mhm.
on them, and their shields and
Information
all
is
this shit,
amazing.
like, okay.
I think LGS is like the best teacher because it's like, majority of the time on the last circle, there's still like 12 teams left, maybe like 12 teams left in
That
a
shit
little
is
bitty ass
crazy,
circle.
bro.
And just
What?
watching how a team fights 11 other teams, it's crazy to watch.
But you won't
Like,
really run into that, right? You're not going to ever run into that kind of style game in your lobbies for the most part, unless you're running in that kind of like team
Mm,
dynamic. Because
but
people aren't boxing up or doing whatever. They're not, I don't know. Whenever I watch, of course, kind of competitive gameplay content, is always a very different kind of meta available to the people playing because of it being a to 10-man team situation, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Having that team built in totally changes the whole meta. And I'm curious, yeah. So you can learn a lot of tips, tricks, and skills from watching what was it, the AGS? Is that what it was called?
ALGS.
The AOGS. But you know, how much how much can you learn that you actually apply to your games, I guess is what I'm asking.
I mean, it's specifically if it's somebody using a legend that you use, how do they play late game? How do they use their tactical and their ultimate late in the game when the circle's closing? Like I've seen wraiths that phase when the circle is right on them, and they'll phase because when you phase, you get hit by the storm. Or they'll make a port from in and out, so they'll keep going in and out the port so they don't get hit with the circle.
So they'll just keep
Like,
phasing. Yeah, sure.
those little things, you may not necessarily learn unless you see somebody else do it.
So that's the exploit. Those are the exploits I was talking about earlier. Is that kind of stuff. Like to me, that is a mechanic that's built into the game that hasn't been fixed, it hasn't been patched out, that you can take advantage of, but not everybody can, and you got to know things like that. To me, is the realm of exploitation that I think is beautiful. People who find that shit,
It's like so bound
develop it, and use it.
to a champion
Yeah.
though. Only that champion could even attempt the mechanic. Everybody else is just
And
locked
there you
out.
go. There you go. You better spam that champion. I like that kind of stuff, man. I think it's pretty fun. I think that it's almost like painting, right? You're working with the mistakes as the mistakes are being made. You notice a little hiccup in that code, and you're like, oh, this thing, okay, bet. Now, does that do you vibe with that kind of stuff? Like, if you find those exploits, do you feel like it's cool to use those, or are you kind of like, I'm on the side of feeling like this is a little dirty. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I'll
fuck
dip
gotta
my
just
hands
win.
in mud and then lick them off at the same time. I'm good. What? This mud is here.
I mean, that's been around for a long time though. That specific exploit. I feel like if it's been a long, we're on like season 15 now. If it hasn't been fixed yet, they're not trying to fix it. That's something they
Yeah,
want to
that's
keep
what
in
I'm
the game.
saying, right? As well use it if they ain't fixing it.
And then again, you that's something you got to practice because that ain't. So it's a whole skill because the port on the storm is going to disappear. So you have to time it perfectly. Like you have to time it. And so here's I actually saw one of the best players, probably the best Apex player, Imperial do it. He did it with his Wraith. And when he first did it, I think me and everybody in the chat was like, everybody was going crazy.
Like what the
That's
fuck?
fire. That's
Like
dope. That's what I'm talking about, though, right? Like that is something that I think exists outside of video games as well. Is that kind of exploitation? Is it's noticing something that is like, all right, here's a system I can gain within this thing that I am doing, whatever that is. In this case, it's that specific mechanic with that specific champion. But as you mentioned, you have to still practice it, right? So you have to find the mechanic, be aware of it. Then you have to understand the mechanic and how it works. And you have to practice it to actually be able to pull it off. All of this only being available on one champion. And these are the kinds of things that like really separate, in my book, a pro player from somebody else. It is exactly this kind of thing. It's not just the level, it's not just the practice, it's not just the mad hours and dedication. That stuff is all really important. But it's the ability to identify these things when they pop up that are the advantages or the advantageous moments or that are like the exploitable to the game or what have you, and be like, I bet I'm going to take this strategy, which literally couldn't exist in any kind of way, but because I know everything about this game, I can use it, and I'm going to use the shit out of it. It's going to be dope, and nobody else knows about it yet, so it's going to be extra, extra dope. This is where I feel like that's how geniuses are born. When they're making that kind of stuff, that's amazing. Those are the pros all day right there.
Yeah, those are all
Absolutely.
really good points. And those are all like solid foundations for Apex because it touches on pretty much everything in it. Like that shit is really, I don't know, it's really good. It makes the game enjoyable, man, because it gives it that sense of like grindy, find out every little, like even the wall jump stuff. I remember finding that out was so satisfying. Like learning how to just
What about
bounce
the
off
wall
the wall.
jumps? What is that little thing about? These are the important factors if you're
hmm
going to be a
That's a
coach. Tell us all the
mechanic.
tips and tricks.
That's a mechanic from like that is applicable to any champion or whatnot. It's just based off the movements of like the model of the game and how it interacts with the wall and whatnot. That you could kind of
Yeah, so
exploit.
wall jumping is pretty much like some people use it to cover more ground, like if they're trying to beat the storm. You get a little not a boost, but it's like it lunges you forward so that you get a little bit more momentum trying to beat the storm. Some people use it to wall jump over their enemy and turn around and
Mhm.
beam them, trying to track them flying over your head. And you know,
Mhm.
wall bouncing is crazy. Some people do trick shots. They try to snipe
It's
you off
just
a wall
part of the
bounce.
movements. Like the movements in the games are crazy. Lennon. The movement is crazy. They be
Major
climbing up,
disrespect. I
jumping,
love the disrespect stuff.
bouncing.
That was kind of what the vibe I was getting from that Fall Guys clip. That person standing across from you, just being like, "What? Come over here. I'm just gonna say." You're like, "Nah, I ain't dealing with that taunt. Sit down, son. Get in that water. Can't swim full day. No lifeguard here. Ha." I think that stuff's pretty fun too, man. Like being able to taunt people, being able to. All right, this is a great thing.
Mhm.
How can you mess with people's mental in Apex? I think this is a core mechanic for every game. Messing with an enemy's mental. How can you break down the enemy team in that game, right? So there's a few ways to do it in League of Legends. You can do all kinds of stuff. But I'm
Got
curious,
little
are there any kind
emotes.
of like main go-tos that you can do if you're like, oh, this one's kind of tilted. I wonder if I can make them fall off a cliff because they're so tilted. Like, do you ever mess with that kind of stuff at all? Does that does that come into your repertoire?
So you mean the toxic stuff?
Yeah, what's
You know,
toxic?
you could take it to a toxic level, but you don't have to do it toxic. You could, I mean,
It's a mental advantage. We talking about advantages.
so you might, yeah, if you can like set off a keyboard warrior halfway through the game so that they are spending 50% of the game typing and 50% of the game not playing, like
Mm.
again, I'm all see it. I'm not trying to, but I won't do it by like texting, calling them out necessarily all the time. But like, if I can emo at them, or I can taunt them, or teabag their dead body, or like laugh in their face, or any of that kind of shit, I'm gonna be doing that all day.
I think I got a
Like,
common one. What's super
what's that?
common and annoying in Apex is third partying. So there's people who will
Okay,
fucking wait
okay.
and just stay there hiding in a fucking little room or something or whatever the heck. And as soon as like Trey's team and some other team shooting, now we jump out. We gonna go
I'm
jump
not.
all of
Thanks.
them. Like that's the most annoying shit and toxic shit I think when I was playing. Like so that was
Yeah,
like
sure.
every time. It's
Think
like every time we get into some type of gunfight and we doing all our abilities and breaking down what the fuck we got. Here comes these motherfuckers. Like every time, bro.
Third party.
I want to say I think the most toxic thing that I think I do on Apex is starting a finisher and canceling it and keep doing it over and over and over and
Oh.
over.
That's the kind of shit I'm talking about now. Yeah,
Yeah, it is
exactly. Yeah,
toxic.
yeah, yeah. All right.
Make you
So,
rage quit.
oh, yeah, yeah, exactly. So, is that what they get knocked out, but they're not exactly dead, and you go up and you have to
Again,
like execute them or whatever, and you're like playing with that
Yo.
execution?
yeah, yeah.
I love that.
And then you stop teabagging a little bit and keep doing it
Of
again.
course, yeah, yeah. See, now if that player's got teammates in the game, right, they're gonna be yelling the whole time, like, come get me, he hasn't killed me." Like, it's gonna throw off some kind of mental stuff. To me, that is an ass. Literally, like it's fun. It's fun to kind of be a little toxic from time to time and all that. But it is a tool. It's another tool in my book. And when I'm playing a ranked game, you better believe I use it like that. Straight up. If I notice somebody is already tilted, like if I see them standing still and I notice it happened after their ally did something that fucked them up, I know they're typing to their ally and they're pissed. So I'm going to try to do everything I can to make them more pissed at their ally, to force their team fighting to fuck up even more so that we can take that advantage. Like, I would always try to do that. Are you kidding
That
me?
mental warfare, bro. Welcome to League of Legends. It's crazy. This shit gets toxic.
Yeah,
So
another one.
toxic.
Oh, you can be toxic to your own teammates. I be toxic to my randoms all the time, especially if we on comms and he talking shit and he go down and he get mad. I'll spam the res button. So I'll start the res animation and get back up,
Yeah.
and then I just run away.
playing with life.
And then once you die, pick up your banner and don't res you.
Just have you spectating the whole time.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's toxic.
That's a good one. All right, so these are the kind of tips and tricks y'all have to look forward to if you go and watch Ghettonerdtrey. Weaves becoming the new king of them all, the new coach on top of it. Yo, he's getting coaching to be a coach to teach y'all all these little tips. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. I don't even play fucking Apex, and I'm stoked to come and see this stuff. It's gonna be fun.
Like the first thing Lennon gonna do if somebody go down, like don't. You're gonna start fucking the animation now.
But you know what? Doing the finisher period is toxic.
Yeah, I be hating that shit. You pull out the little rat, like I used to see all the time with Ash or whatever. I think she pull out the sword, a rat come out. I'm like, yo, bro,
finish him. That was the best part about a lot of games is the finisher. Like I to this day, again, y'all, I play League. If you haven't noticed, I play League. Wow, amazing. That's where my stuff comes from. But there's something that added in the game way long time ago. There's an Earth mode, which is ultra rapid fire. It's just a super fast paced spam it game mode. They added finishers to that years ago. You had to buy, and it gave you a finisher so that when you killed an enemy in that game mode, they like blow up and it's all fancy and cool. You can't get it anymore. You can't get finishers anymore. But wow, finishers can be super toxic and like envious. And when you have somebody with a good finisher, I don't know, it's just it feels good. It's just one of those feel good mechanics that I feel like should be in a lot of games. Finishers, yeah, bring more to us, please.
So have we completely moved on from the Xbox? I'm still hard. I'm still heartbroken.
Nah, we ain't moving on.
You mess with the Halo yet?
You mean the newest one? Oh yeah, I beat the campaign. I ain't really do too much of the multiplayer. I still play Destiny on my Xbox though.
Okay.
Destiny seems like it's really had a long life. It's been like
it's coming out with more stuff.
Yeah. I'm always seeing it updated on Steam. There's new packs, new DLCs, all that kind of stuff.
I think
crazy. Now, do you think that has to do with just kind of like the rollout of how Borderlands 3 went down and the fact that people were so upset about that? Because those are like in that sphere, those are really the two big games, right? Destiny and Borderlands. Are there any others that are kind of in that same like shooter?
I think that's just Bungie, bro. I think Bungie just went crazy with it. This was supposed to be like Halo. Like, remember, these are guys who started and created Halo, did the first like 5 games, and then bounced. And they did everything with Destiny. And like, I think this is just dumb. Like, this is just something that they just got to a T, bro. Like, that's just like they got this shit down packed.
That's dope. I like that. Yeah, I messed with Destiny for a minute, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I think I just stopped playing it because everyone I was playing with stopped playing it. And
there was another one. What was it? Outriders or something, right? Outriders came out, and that was like a shooter looter type thing, and it was dope. Had abilities and all that, but like, bro, nothing like.
Yeah, in that whole, I'm telling you, it's like Borderlands or Destiny are really the only two that come to my mind.
Outlanders reminded me of a bootleg Gears of War.
Yeah, they have a Gears feel with the fucking bolting and the running around with the A and all that. I remember that
That
feeling.
makes sense. That
And like,
makes sense.
nothing could compare to Destiny's like basically shooting RPG game like that. That shit perfect. It was so good. It is good.
Beautiful. Well,
Yeah, nothing could ever replace Gears of War. That was my first love.
Gears.
that's an Xbox. That's been an Xbox
That's
exclusive,
why
right?
I'm pushing this
Mhm.
PlayStation, bro. I
Yeah.
fuck you playing
Or-
this PlayStation. What's going on?
Gears, Gears 5 ain't what it used to be.
yeah.
Ah, damn.
So coming into this gear conversation, we are approaching our 2 hour mark right now, y'all.
Shit go fast,
Just
bro.
doing our check-in again. We are gonna have a short little break, and typically at this point, if there isn't anything that we still need to cover, of course, on the end cap of the actual like podcast part, we'll readdress who you are, readdress socials, how to see you, all this kind of stuff. But anything else that we feel like we want to cover before we start transitioning from our podcast into more of our kind of after party situation? Looks
I
like
do.
nah.
I do have that as some other obligations to
Oh
tend
yeah,
to.
no, you're super
Yeah.
great. You're super great. So that sounds like we are coming to a close then, everybody.
Nah,
This has
definitely.
been a wonderful,
It's
wonderful
been amazing,
podcast.
bro.
Anything else you need to add in here, Teddy?
Yeah, anything while we start wrapping up, can you actually, look for somebody that's live that we could rate out
Mm-hmm.
to of your
Raid out
choice?
too. So yeah,
Oh.
while you go ahead and do this raid out, I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. I'll come back. We'll get the raid going.
Mhm.
We'll do our sign off, and it's gonna be great. Be right back, y'all.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna actually rate my brother.
Let's do it. And
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
yeah, you could definitely do that. And the whole link or whatnot. Another thing too, is there anything that we may have not touched on that you maybe want to announce or like just speak on? Maybe say a little word for somebody listening.
Um, no, I think we covered everything. I mean, this has been fun. Like I really enjoyed my time.
I
It
appreciate that, bro.
brought some nostalgia.
Heck yeah, man. Hopefully we see you around or whatnot. Like this
Man,
who I got helping me with the law stuff, man. So
yeah, yeah.
trying to make things happen, baby. Good safe space for everybody.
I gotta,
Um,
I gotta get, I gotta send him a friend request on Twitch so I can see this toxicness on League of Legends.
Yo, this shit gets
yo,
crazy, bro.
please. It's gonna be
I
great.
like
Yo,
seeing.
so for the next couple of days, I'm gonna be streaming The Forest in preparation for
Yes, the
Sons of the Forest
forest.
coming up, and we got a
Hey,
good group plan. We
We've been
got a
doing the
good group
forest. If
plan,
you want to
Trey.
rock
So
with us,
look,
yeah.
my friends just told me to download it. So this
Mhm.
DLC is gonna be good.
Oh, look, this is all right. This is the Forest is an old game now in the history of survival games. Basically, it's been out for like 3-4 years, something like that. It has
Mhm.
maintained some of the highest popularity. That and Ark and like the newer Valheim and stuff like that. It has been one of the most popular survival games for a
Mhm.
couple of specific reasons. Mostly because of the unique implementation of the AI they have is really good. But
Bro, the
all
game
this
is
to say,
really freaking good.
Sons of the Forest, which is out, is what the Forest was meant to be, right? The Forest was kind of just like more or less them figuring out how to make a game, and then this is
Mhm.
the game now that is coming out. So it's gonna be dope.
Mhm.
It's gonna be super dope. I think. We got a bunch of people who are in or associated with the law community who are going to be playing it as well. So yeah, I'll be around. Come stop by. But for the first couple of hours, I'm usually playing League, so you can see me be toxic as anything right then. First couple of hours, I'm usually playing League. All right,
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
that is wonderful. That is wonderful.
Bro,
I am
I got the
excited.
raid. I think we might have an issue with. Oh, it actually won't let me raid out either. It says that his settings might be on his side this time.
All right, here.
Yeah, I'm getting the
I know
ghetto.
sometimes I gotta take the ad out of it.
Rating issues. Yo, I've been running into rating issues since day one. I don't know
Yeah,
what
it's
that
giving me this
is.
message. I'll
I don't know
copy
what it
paste.
is either.
That's the copy paste I'm getting right there. So I don't know if it's his side or whatnot. I'm also gonna say this. We do have, what is the hour mark? 2 hour and 2 minutes would be the cutoff.
2 hour, 2 minutes. Heard that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little outro real quick.
No problem. Yeah, we're
And
gonna
then we'll
still try to
continue
get
our
this
raid up.
raid.
Yep. All right. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. This was episode 6 of the Love Always Wins podcast. Again, I am Shio, one of your hosts. We're wrapping this up today with our with our guest. My apologies, Ghettonerdtrey. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. It's been an absolutely wonderful time. If y'all want to follow him on his socials, they're in the chat below. Please check him out. Give him a nice little follow. Show him some love. And if you want to hear this podcast, download it, give us a like, any of that stuff. You can find it on our website. That's lovealwayswins.podbean.com. Get that link by typing in !pod or podcast in the chat. And the link is also down below. So thank you all so much for tuning in yet one more time. And we can't wait to get back to you for next one, episode 7.
Burns.